Denzel Washington just destroyed woke culture and Hollywood loses it. This is the Woke Watchers channels. Um, Let's see. It's probably gonna be some old clips in here, but I love that quote from Denzel saying, "You got to leave before the devil shows up." Talking about going to these Hollywood events and stuff like that. All right, we ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color, it's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're in a
Steven
space
Spielberg did Schindler's List.
This legendary actor has been around for nearly 50 years, and he just dropped some serious truth bombs. He's smart, honest, and not afraid to call out Hollywood's nonsense. Is Denzel Washington the hero we never knew we needed? He's seen the shift from great stories to big blockbuster movies that only care about making money, and he's not happy about it.
So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it.
Denzel Washington is not just a powerhouse actor. He's a thinker and a man who stands by his principles. And now, he's taking on Hollywood's so-called woke culture with the same intensity he brings to the big screen. He thinks young people are addicted.
A little off topic, but man, those Equalizer movies be so good. Oh man. I just remember that first one just because I worked, Home Depot for so many years. Oh man. If you haven't seen them, go watch them.
To social media. In this age of social media, what would you say to young people?
Turn it off. That's what I would say. It's hard for young people now because they're hooked. They're addicted. If you don't think you're addicted, and I'm talking about anyone, from the highest to the lowest, if you don't think you're addicted, then see if you can turn it off for a week.
Denzel Washington has never been one to shy away from speaking his mind. During the promotion of his film Fences, Denzel made it crystal clear. It's not about color, it's about culture. He wasn't just talking about the movie, he was calling out the entire industry. Hollywood loves to pat itself on the back for being so progressive. But Denzel isn't impressed. He knows that real representation goes beyond skin color. It's about understanding and respecting the culture behind the stories. He thinks real talent and good stories are being ignored for temporary social media fame. He said,
Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List, but there are cultural differences. I know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference. So it's the culture.
Denzel's point is simple but powerful. It's not enough to just have diversity on the surface. What's the point of casting a black actor or hiring a black director if they don't understand the culture they're portraying? Denzel Washington is saying what a lot of people are thinking, but are too scared to say out loud.
Relationships have to do with race relationships. You're white or whatever you are, I'm black or whatever I am. We're standing here talking now. That's how we get things done. You can't legislate love. The President of the United States can't legislate us into liking each other.
Hollywood's...
Bro. That, what he just said right there, is how I feel 1000%. When I say it comes down to us, I feel like if there was a president in office who met all needs, who did everything right, is that going to stop us from hating each other? Nope. You know what I mean? That's why I said it comes down to us. That is so, oh man, that just warmed my heart hearing him say that.
Version of diversity is often just for show. It's more about ticking the right boxes than actually telling deep, culturally rich stories. And for Denzel, that's simply not good enough. But if you thought he was just upset about the lack of authentic storytelling, you're in for more. Denzel didn't stop there. He's been vocal about how this surface-level approach to diversity isn't just misguided, it's dangerous. In one interview with SiriusXM, he talked about how roles of black people in movies have changed over time.
Who laid the groundwork for me to be in the position I'm in? I'm going to make sure that there's hundreds of roles for the next generation and utilize the power that I have at this moment in order to do that. And nobody's going to get in my way.
For Denzel, it's not about what you look like on the outside, it's about what you bring to the table. He knows the real power in Hollywood still lies with the same old crowd, mostly white men who pull the strings from behind the scenes. Sure, they talk a big game about change, but Denzel sees right through it. He's called out Hollywood for pretending to be progressive while keeping the real power dynamics exactly the same. They say they want diversity, but who's really making the decisions? Denzel asks. It's a bold question, but it's one that needs to be asked. Denzel knows that real change isn't about just putting a few diverse faces on screen. It's about who's behind the camera, who's writing the scripts, and who's deciding which stories get told. And according to Denzel, Hollywood still has a long way to go. And let's not forget cancel culture, one of the hottest and most controversial topics today. While many in Hollywood are quick to jump on the cancel bandwagon, Denzel is standing his ground against it.
We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it. Sell it.
He's seen how cancel culture makes people too scared to express their opinions, and he knows that when that happens, we all lose out. Cancel culture puts freedom of expression at risk. Denzel has said he believes that open and honest dialogue is essential for a healthy society. Denzel's not just talking about cancel culture. He's seen firsthand how it can destroy careers and silence voices that don't conform to the popular narrative. He's all about people have their own individuality and being different.
There are millions of people that are falling in the gap because they don't fit in to this information age. I don't care who you are. You can promise people a whole lot, but there's a whole lot of people that are in trouble right now because they just don't fit in.
Denzel's message is clear. We need to stop being so quick to cancel people who make mistakes or hold different opinions. Instead, we should be willing to listen, learn, and grow together. Did you know that nowadays, Hollywood is using scandals to make money? Denzel isn't having any of this. He believes that art should lift people up and tell honest, meaningful stories, not just focus on drama and controversy. And he's not just talking about it, he's doing something about it. Through his production company, Denzel supports projects that give a voice to those who often go unheard and tackle important social issues. He's mentoring young actors and filmmakers, encouraging them to stay true to themselves and their cultures. Denzel isn't here to play Hollywood's game. He wants to change it. He's committed to bringing stories to life that truly connect with people on a cultural level. Remember that powerful scene in How to Get Away with Murder where Viola Davis takes off her makeup and wig?
Yeah, I remember that.
That was her idea. She wanted to show real, raw emotion. That's the kind of authenticity Denzel stands for. He knows that when people really understand the culture they're portraying, it makes a huge difference. Denzel is also concerned about Hollywood's shift towards sensationalism and scandal, often at the expense of meaningful storytelling. He sees this as a problem with the broader woke culture, which sometimes seems to focus more on controversy than real artistic expression. Take Fences, for example, a film Denzel directed and starred in.
Can I ask you a question?
The hell you got to ask me? Mr. Stewicki, the one you got the questions for.
How come you ain't never liked me?
Like you.
Here we go.
He's praised it for focusing on real human stories without resorting to cheap drama. This is the kind...
Boy, that that scene right there in Fences, oh man. You know, when Denzel gets into like expressing something that's going to hit hard, boy, you feel it. Oh, he makes you feel it.
of content Denzel wants to see more of in Hollywood. He's not interested in drama for drama's sake. He's all about telling stories that matter. Denzel Washington has also spoken out about the increasing political divide in Hollywood. When a reporter asked him who he voted for, Washington straight up refused to answer.
Well, that was a question. Who you wound up supporting in the election, presidential election?
None of your business.
He's observed that the industry has become more polarized, with people being pushed to one extreme or the other. He really believes in free speech and people's right to express themselves.
Black Lives Matter movement, for example, and those issues, has that movement in particular, the Black Lives Matter movement, helped race relations or not in America?
Well, listen, we live in America, and in America we have the freedom to express ourselves. We shouldn't take that for granted. So whatever the movements are, whether you agree with them or don't, they have the right.
Denzel isn't interested in playing those games.
Big facts.
He's been vocal about his belief that politics shouldn't be about left versus right. It should be about what's right versus what's wrong.
Right.
Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
In interviews, Denzel has pointed out that Hollywood's tendency to lean heavily to the left has created an environment where conservative voices are often silenced or ridiculed.
But like I did talk about my 3 closest friends, and they did, 15 to 25, one did 28, this and that. I was the only one of the 3 that had a father in my life, even though my parents were together. But I still had a father who was a gentle man and a good example, and they didn't. We can blame the system if we want, but they didn't lock any of us up at 7.
Yeah.
We were all doing enough to get locked up at 13. My parents sent me in another direction. They didn't have anybody to help them, and they kept doing what they was doing.
He's not saying that people shouldn't have political beliefs. Far from it. But he's concerned that Hollywood's political bias is leading to a lack of true diversity, not just in terms of race or gender, but in terms of ideas. Denzel has also criticized Hollywood for its tendency to jump on the bandwagon of the latest political cause without really understanding the issues at play. He's seen how the industry can be quick to champion causes that are popular in the moment, but fail to address the deeper systemic issues that need to be solved. For Denzel, it's not enough to just talk the talk. You have to walk the walk as well. Some people think he's brave and right, while others think he's too negative. But everyone agrees his opinion matters.
Like I said, I can listen to these stories all day long, or these interviews of Denzel, because, oh man, I relate to that so much, especially when it comes down to politics. Man, I always said it shouldn't be about left versus right. It should be about right versus wrong, good versus evil. Because like I said, at the end of the day, if somebody came in that office and just gave everybody what they was looking for, we would still find some way to F it all up. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. You know? Hey, appreciate you guys coming over and watching. Hopefully everything goes smoothly with this video. I'll leave the link to the original description so you guys can check out more and even subscribe, man. Or I'll just leave the link to the channel. All right, peace out.